This is your captain. Our mission, to seek out new life. Push the boundaries of what is known and what is possible.
I'm standing on the surface of a comet.
No one can know the future. One can only follow one's instincts.
This crew can do anything.
Let's show them what you got.
Hey, my man, remember how intense I was when I was in the league?
Sure.
Now, I'm retired. Got everything on chill mode.
Chill mode, Mr. Garnett.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Big ticket hitting big parlays. Whose house is it?
Big Ticket's
Whose
house?
house is
Big
it?
Ticket's house.
Big Ticket's house.
Woo!
It's Big Ticket's house.
It's my house!
What? It's playoff time, everyone, and there's no better place to wager on the best basketball of the year than at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, today's the day. Register now and place a $10 moneyline wager on any NBA playoff game. If either team hits a three-pointer in the game, you'll win $200 free bets, regardless of your bet's outcome. Just use the bonus code KG200, and I can't think of a better way to enjoy the playoffs than with the bankroll of free bets. Download the app and use the bonus code KG200 to win $200 when someone hits a three-pointer. Visit betmgm.com/KG certified. Peace.
Lights, the energy.
Playoffs! Yes, let's get it! Here, every game counts.
Every bucket counts.
Every second counts.
Yes!
Oh, I love this game.
It's NBA playoff time.
Can you dig it?
Trophies.
These are the Anything's Possible BetMGM picks of the week. In any series, when you play on someone else's floor, you anticipate them taking care of business, as we would say in the business, when you play in someone's arena. Grizzlies and Warriors in San Francisco, it's going to be hostile. They're going to be spirited coming back. This is a West Coast kind of run and gun style. This is like Speedy Gonzalez against Speedy Gonzalez, and they're racing, right? Memphis had a rhythm. You know, Ja gets going, hits his first 2 threes. Is that what it's going to take to beat the Warriors? He's going to have to average 40. He had a great game. He killed, but the Warriors are going to make some adjustments towards that 47. I'm sure he's going to be working. They're going to cut the court off. I would anticipate them trapping him or throwing another person to get the ball out of his hand. They're chasing Bane off that 3. Other players going to have to step up, but Jaren Jack is playing well. I anticipate them throwing something at him just to throw him off a little bit. Jaren Jack came out, played great. I think Wiggins might be too small to be able to guard him at times. It gave the game some real spirit. I think somebody came down, got dunked on. So now this series has went from a kind of like a race, a West Coast style, to now some physicality has entered this. So I'm eager to see if Memphis can win in Golden State with these next 2 games. And that's the biggest question mark here. Playing, at home in your bed I'm looking for Golden State to come out and win big, actually. When you get that first game in someone's arena, that is your first chance to be able to steal that game. Usually game 2 is just so much harder because you're settled in, right? I want to see if Memphis can actually win on the road. I know they can. I know they have. I know they win in Minnesota. Golden State's a little bit different atmosphere. Draymond's going to have that crowd going. He's going to be spirited. I'm going to pick Golden State with the game Saturday. Game 3, I anticipate, Golden State coming out winning big. Like I said, man, this real question mark is going to be, can Memphis win on the road? I think the seeds, going back to Milwaukee, the first 2 games they was night and day. I thought the first games, the Celtics was way too perimeter. I thought they lived by the 3, but then you come back and you look at game 2, and no one could do anything wrong. I thought Jaylen Brown had an unbelievable rhythm to start the game, just throughout the game, period. I just thought Grant and Al did a really good job of getting in front of Giannis, showing him a wall. A couple times, Giannis, I thought some of those blocks was charges, but when you're MVP and when you are the champ, you're going to get away with some things. I thought that was the ability to be able to control Giannis and put him in pick and rolls and have him work just not having him on defense and him, using all his energy, on offense. I thought Celtics did a good job of establishing themselves offensively, and they never look back with that. So, you're going into a very hostile environment. They've won there, so they have confidence there. And that first game back, obviously, I expect Milwaukee to be guns blazing, playing very spirited at home, and probably winning the first game back. But the C's get one on the road. And those are your certified picks of the week. Come check my joint out, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to put some more TVs in here, but this is pretty what it is. You know what I'm saying?
This is some player shit right here. I remember you guys showing me this building when there wasn't nothing in here, bro.
Nah, it was all in your head. If you can get it out your head and get it in your head, then
Right. I love it.
I'm learning so much about lighting and shadows and all type of, you know what I mean?
You been enjoying it?
I'm trying to. When you got something and you trying to have it be of another level, then that's stressful within itself, because your ideas, you want it to be 40. I want my shit to be different from everybody else, so I'm trying to be.
But I think your energy alone is gonna make your shit different from anybody's anyway.
Expertise. I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to come off like I'm a coach. I want to give expertise and all this. I'm saying we can, when we watch games, we can actually critique a lot of skill set, a lot of X's and O's, not to play coach, but to be as the individual in the game going through it. So a lot of times I'm giving that perspective, or trying to anyway.
And I think, a point you made is being able to critique without being disrespectful. And I think that's what's missing in media. Everyone wants to be disrespectful and instead of trying to lend like a helping hand.
Man, I look at a lot of the critiques being just that, disrespectful. Yeah. Like a lot of stuff you can just critique on him being A and B. It starts to go into another direction, and that's what I'm trying to have this be. We're certified. Been in this game, we not played in this game.
Right.
A, B, and C, man. It goes like this a lot of times, and it's personal towards the mano competition. But when we get out there, man, we dab, we hug, hey man, way to bang. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's only when you haven't been through that you take the approach of being disrespectful. Because once you be disrespectful, it's personal to me. I feel like that. You know what I'm saying? It's alluded to it personally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You watching the playoffs?
Yeah, man, I've been enjoying it, man. It's been fun, you know what I mean, to see.
Kids grow up in this, right? You watching, man, I'm
fast.
Man, I'm watching B.I. I knew he was good. I didn't know Brandon Ingram had that, though.
I seen it, bro. I say he's a dog, and I seen it because when he used to come when he first got drafted, he was playing out here in the summertime, and
you see a whole nother him?
Didn't fear no one, had a quiet confidence about him, and just got to his spots. And now you see he's getting to his spots, taking it to another level.
He's the mid-range king. Him and DeRozan, to me, yes, and Durant, yes. They use the mid-range better than anybody I'm seeing today.
Anybody, very efficient at it.
Very efficient.
I mean, you think about DeMar averaging 26 points a game, and what does he take? 1 or 2 threes a game?
1 or 2
like
threes.
Old school.
And he was doing one-legged runners and shots that I have never seen him take, right?
Right. It's that confidence, man.
First off, what's your favorite series? What's your favorite series to watch?
Man, to be honest with you, I can't singularly point one out. I mean, I'm so close from being removed with the Warriors, so I'm always a big fan of seeing how, now that they have their big three back together and the emergence of Jordan Poole and their role players are younger and hungry and they've bought in, I love watching them. But also on the flip side, I love watching Memphis's new young energy where they're out there dancing before the shot. See, like, it's a new wave that, somewhere like you or I feel like Golden State needs that to kind of make them mad because they've been through this process. So these young punks out here dancing like Clay. I know Clay don't play that shit. So I know Clay is like, okay, let's get these. But at the same time, these boys are holding their own. It's just a new wave.
It is.
So I really like that. I've liked watching Giannis. I think he may not win the MVP, but he's hands down the most dominant player in the game. Unbelievable. And he continues, to me, I feel like he's the one superstar that every offseason, next season, you see he really added that one dribble pull to his game. He added that spot up three. You see it on a consistent basis, you know what I mean? So I love watching him. But just overall, man, I just feel like, it's a different game than it was when we played, but I appreciate it because I know it's evolved in a way that they needed it to evolve. But these young kids are so talented, man.
Bang.
Yeah.
I didn't know Bang had a flame like that. I had watched him a couple times throughout the years and stuff, and I knew he could shoot the ball. I didn't know he was that good of a shooter. Jordan Poole. I knew Jordan Poole could score the ball. I actually thought Wiggins was going to have a better playoff, but I thought initially Wiggins was going to go to another level. Jordan Poole stepped in, no pressure, by the way.
Yes.
No expectations, which is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And he's just coasting. He's here, and I don't see that going anywhere.
I don't, but on the
roster.
You're
not in the scout report.
We're not really studying you. Then all of a sudden now, just how they do young quarterbacks. You know, next year they're gonna have some defensive schemes for Jordan Poole because they understand how real he is. So he's been a killer. But I think that's what kept Wiggins from making that jump was the emergence of Poole.
Really?
I think so. But I think Wiggins is really, for all the hype he's had, and he's had a solid career, but there's always so much pressure on him to score. I think he thrives in this situation because he can hit you with a 30-piece, but he can also just hit you with 16 and D up the whole game.
And it ain't no pressure on him either. That's
no
the only
pressure.
thing
He
I
don't
like.
say nothing. He plays his role. He helps Clay because, Clay was a very underrated, always guarded the best player, but until Clay really gets his legs back on him, I think Wiggins has done a great job of filling into that, two-way player.
Gary Payton Jr., what we call him? We call him the mitten, we call him nephew, what we call him?
We got to call him something, but he's out there doing his thing. It's you see those systems. You see how San Antonio used to be a plug-and-play system. Like the Patriots are a plug-and-play system. Golden State has turned into a buy-in to what you are. I don't give a fuck what your past has been, but come buy into your role and we're going to win.
Who do you like in the series with the Warriors? I know you're biased. I got to ask you, though. Who do you like in the Warriors Grizzlies series, and what do you think is going?
I like the Warriors. I think Warriors will win in 5 or 6, but I think this is valuable time for Memphis. They're going to grow so much from this because if you remember, before the Warriors really got rolling, they had to get through us, and they had to get through KD in Oklahoma City, that Lob City team. They had to grind and keep knocking on that door till that motherfucker opened.
Yeah.
Milwaukee had to do the same thing. We kept saying, okay, well, Giannis is great in the season, but can he do it in the playoffs? So they kept knocking on the door. They kicked that thing in. So I think Memphis's window is going to start in about 2 years. Not to say they won't make a run to maybe the Western Finals crazy next year, but I think their window for winning will start in 2 years, and they got a great core. I think they may need to add a solid wing veteran that could really help them because Memphis is a destination now. It's a cool city. There's a great energy there, so they might be able to steal a nice free agent at some point. But I'm taking Golden State, but I think this is going to be a valuable time. We're going to look back when Memphis is competing for championships. They had to fight to beat they had to deal with the big bully at the time.
You think this is their
growing
Giannis,
process?
This is Giannis when he got beat by the Heat.
Yeah.
Now he ain't cry, but you can see he was heated after that.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt.
Motivated.
Until how Golden State, we were the last team to beat Golden State, that Lob City team before they went on their dynasty run.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We beat them in 7. That was the year that Sterling got in trouble. So we beat them in 7, and then, they finally, after the next season, they kicked that door in and went on their run. So I really like Memphis, but this is going to be a great learning experience for a young team.
Before we leave the conversation, how long to Ja Morant's MVP? I made a comment early on in the year. I thought Melo, because he had such an advance. When I watch him, no young guards are head man the ball. Like Melo's IQ is on another level. So I thought that he would be MVP in the league. Ja's just making an incredible stride. I got to talk about his importance to not just his team, but his team actually plays better, not better, plays well when he's out, which is a rarity. That shows the depth in that team, right?
Yeah, depth, system.
But he's going to be MVP at some point. I'm seeing how all the kids are actually gravitating to him and vice versa, his young energy.
I feel like he's the next one, not to cut you off, I feel like he's the next one with the Nike signature shoe. It's going to be the #1 shoe.
He should be. He's the next. Him and Melo are the future.
I agree. But you know this as well as anybody. You come in young, especially you were hiding, but you didn't start really learning the craft of the game till year 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? So he's just stepping into that space.
Picking it up early, man.
Quick. You know what I mean? Like his dad built a dog. You know what I mean? I love what his dad is doing right now. I mean, he's having fun, but he's not being out there crazy disrespecting. He's just enjoying the moment, But I think, Morant has got it, and you could see that. They got with the grit and grind with Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, Tony Allen, Mike Conley. So they've started their, I don't know what it's going to be called, but they've started their new wave which I love. So they're going to be a team, to be reckoned with, to me, in the next 2 years.
They're pinching off that culture too, man. Because when I watch Memphis and you ain't got no volume up, the game is lit.
Still.
People standing up.
Crazy.
The bench crazy. You got dancing going on.
No, it's nuts.
Josh dad running up and down.
Right.
Hey, man.
And they had a whole celebrity road too. Think about it. They turned that shit into
they got
low-key.
Yo Money, but they had got everybody at the games, right?
Money, yeah. So it's, like I said, I love the energy that team has really embraced Ja's energy in that city. Just makes him electric. So I love it.
Who do you like are you watching the Suns and the Mavericks?
Yeah, I feel like the Suns have a chip on their shoulder. I think a lot of
playing
people...
like it, right? Like Chris Paul, I see him, he looks feisty.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I want to see him win, you know what I mean? I think he gets a bad rap but he's just, you would have loved him. He's a old school, gonna tell you how it is, not how you want to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, probably how you were. I never got a chance to play with you, but I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. Like, I'm going to tell you like a man, because most of the time what I'm saying is right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think, sometimes he gets a bad rep, but, I feel like they have a chip on their shoulder. A lot of people said last year was luck, or so-and-so was hurt, and so-and-so was hurt, and you got to the finals and it was luck. So they came out this season like, all right, we're going to show you we're the best team in the league. And I just feel like they're taking the steps game in, game out. Booker came back and had a nice... Game 1, he's getting healthy with his hamstring. CP's in his bag for the NBA record, 14 for 14 from the field.
That was crazy.
And, shout out Monty Williams. He really has this. To me, that's another plug-and-play system. These guys come in and play their role. I remember Doc Rivers used to say, be a star in your role. They have their superstar. They have CP as their leader. They got Ayton. Everyone else just plug in and play your role. And I think they do a beautiful job at that. So I'm looking forward to that. The next round with Golden State, but Luka's a must.
Listen, man, I think Luka. I think they get a couple games just off him, but I do not think that they. Right when I didn't think Dallas was deep enough to actually be in this series. By the way, the adding of JaVale McGee put the Suns over the top for me. Because I felt like Ayton ran out of gas a little bit against Giannis last year.
I agree.
And they didn't go get one big. They went and got, how you say big fella name? Biombo?
Biombo.
He's getting
bodies.
They got 3 centers in the rotation.
Bro, they ready. At any given time, what I like is, and JaVale's, I got a chance to be a teammate of him. He cannot play 10 games in a row and you throw him in, that motherfucker's ready. And even when he's not playing, he's encouraging people and talking to the younger players. So they got perfect guys that fit the roles they needed to fill. So to me, they're biding their time. You know what I mean?
And they're deep too, man. A lot of people don't know how deep Phoenix is on how they rotate, but I like them in this. Actually, Brunson had a good series against the Jazz.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I know little Brunt. I know nephew. We know his dad and all that. We know what pedigree he comes from. And when he was actually being aggressive like that, I actually wow, I didn't see this one.
Right.
And I actually looked at them and I was like, wow. And I became believers in the Mavericks again. And I wanted to see actually what they look like without Luka, and that's what gave me that belief. But in this series against the Suns, it takes me back to, oh man, they don't have enough. And Luka's half, no one's 100%, by the way. That's what people need to understand. No one at this time of the season is 100%. Do you think the Mavericks have enough to actually be, well, I'm just going to ask you this. What do you see this series?
I see this being, I agree, I think this can be a 5, maybe 6 game series because of Luka's greatness. But I was talking about this on SportsCenter last night. I feel like Luka has to work so hard to get his buckets.
Hard. You see what they're doing?
Hard. And he's doing it.
He has like 3 different guys. People. Crowder.
Right. Different looks, trapping, soft zones.
And he handles it, dog.
And he handles it great. And he's such a smart player that he'll draw 2 or 3 and kick it out. So he's creating there, or he'll be the hockey assist to get it around. So to me, he has to do so much. Agreed. Yeah, I agree. Brunson has definitely had a come out year. But to me, I feel like this is why I've never believed in Utah, is because you need that consistent second guy that's going to be around 20 points every game. You could have it in the regular season, but you really need it in the playoffs. So you know your star is going to give you 20 to 35. We need that second guy to be at Middleton. We need you to be right at 20 every time. And I don't feel like they have that. You know what I mean? So Luka's going to feel a game or 2 because of his greatness, but I agree with you. I don't think they have enough.
Wow. Let's go to the East, man. Well, first off, one of my favorite series was the Celtics and the Brooklyn Nets. I didn't think they were going to sweep the Nets.
We didn't. I didn't.
But when I saw how they was initiating the physicality in the series,
beating up KD,
they picked it up, and then I didn't think KD actually responded to the physicality. He, for the first time in his life, and you know, I always talk about his wiry strength. For the first time in his life, I think the physicality affected him. The two dribble. I think the game 4 was the only game I saw him actually get out.
Spots, yeah.
Where he was able to understand, boom, boom. It wasn't. You see him getting right to it. It wasn't a bunch of playing with the ball. I don't like so much of the one-on-one individual. I like plays. I like sets. I like the ball to rotate. I like the ball to actually go around and everybody touching it. When it gets to sticking, this is my biggest issue with today's game, man. You can't really go into a flow or get a team flow if 1 or 2 guys are rolling like that. And it made sense. But in this series against the Bucks, I think Giannis. At least it came out in game 1 to me that he set the precedent to I'm gonna be the physical. I'm gonna be the more physical. And then I thought and then too, I thought he was resting a lot on defense when he played Tyson and he played Williams. He sagged. He
helped everywhere.
He wasn't working. No. He was not working. All of his energy was for the offensive end.
Let me get downhill.
Who do you like in the Bucks Celtics series?
At the rip, I had Boston in 7. Off the jump, I had Boston in 7.
So you got this going 7, eh?
I do. I have this going long, but I think you hit it perfectly. Like, Milwaukee has been the enforcer, and although it's only one game and you don't want to overreact, there'll be adjustments made in game 2.
But that's the basics, though, man. He set the tone to how we about to play.
But then Portis, I love Portis. He's a dirty dog and talks shit and plays his game. And then Brook Lopez is just a big-ass motherfucker. So he's going to get rebounds. He's going to hit his 3. So they're a big
I said
team.
That. And both playing well. Bobby Portis is like, what, 16, 17? The corner threes are his, man.
His.
Brook Lopez, too.
And that mid-range turning face, jab you, jumper. And he's that meanness that they thought, which they did lose with PJ Tucker, but I felt like Bobby Portis realized, let me step up and be that type of guy. Man. So I really like Milwaukee, but but I'm a big believer in Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum is turning into a superstar in front of our eyes. But this is going to be a tough test. You know, young Ime Udoka is going to have to make these adjustments and make sure they take care of home for game 2 and go back to Milwaukee 1-1. But I don't want to flip. So I'm saying I'm taking Boston in 7.
Taking Boston in 7?
Taking Boston in 7.
Ooh.
Tough call for me too. It's a tough call.
That's a tough call.
What you got?
I got Boston in 7 too. And but after I don't want to jump off. I'm not jumping off the wagon. But man,
scary.
I watched how he just handled everybody.
Scary.
And you know what I didn't like? Man, I thought the Siege laid on the 3 a little bit too much. They took her out, man. They hung out too long with her, man. They were supposed to high and by. You know what I'm saying?
Downhill.
Man, I didn't feel like Jason Tatum got to the cup. I didn't feel like he got to the free throw line.
But it's also, like I said, they're big down there too. Like you said, you got Giannis lurking on the help side. You got Brook out there, even though he's not very athletic, he's a 7-footer.
They got people that can guard Jason. They got people that can guard Jalen, Marcus Smart. I feel like the Holidays.
Yeah. The white boy.
Grayson Allen is
shooting it and playing defense.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to listen. I came in this on some neck and neck, this close. You know why? Because Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis are bigger people than Grant and Tice.
Right.
And when you play them two, they get second chance points. And I didn't even put Giannis in that mix. When Giannis is at the 3, that's what I'm saying. I had to go with the Siege because it's in my heart too.
Right.
But I also recognize the advantages, and I thought them playing physical would actually bother Milwaukee, but then I saw Milwaukee initiate
hit him first.
The physical.
They hit him first.
And then I was like, whoa.
We in a game. We in a series.
We're going 7. This is definitely going 7. And I feel like it's back to that East Coast ball.
Yeah, I love it. All of a sudden, the refs kind of turned on, in some series, turned on that green light in the first round where they let these dudes play physical. Play physical real quick. We gonna knock you down. Like I said, back to your KD thing, for the first time, they made him look human. Ever since KD's kind of become KD, he's always been superhuman. And Boston, with their physicality and with the refs for letting go, made him look human. So I like that fact of it's playoffs, man. Let these boys play.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it for the spirit of what we look at basketball to be. The West is so running gun up and down. It's like a sprint, right? The East Coast is a slow and grind.
How the finals are going to be.
Yeah, you think so?
I'm saying that's how, the game slows down so much.
Yeah.
Each round you go up, the speed slows down. So that half court.
And that's that defense implementation of the finals and all that. Who do you like it up? Man, Embiid. Now, I got to say this. Up 29, I know I heard this out here. I know you not heard it too. I know Doc, man. I know Doc. And when it's around 4 minutes, he gives you a chance to get to the 2-minute mark, only with the understanding that you're going and you're ascending. The minute it starts ascending, he's going to go with what he knows.
Yep.
So I felt like in that 4-minute run, he was trying to get to the 2-minute mark with a run with Embiid in. He was trying to get it above 25 so that now you can get on coast. Toronto's hell at home. Mm-hmm. They run that West Coast and they run you out of the gym and they shoot you out, right? I felt like he was trying to get to a point where he can say boom and then pull the guys out, and this is what happens. This comes
unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You know,
this whole move changes the whole mechanism of the Miami Heat and the 76ers whole series.
I completely agree. I mean, especially because the type of year of Embiid you've been having. I mean, to me, I think he's the MVP.
I thought so too.
You know, the way he's just embraced it, dealt with the Ben Simmons situation, still played hard, and has embraced James Harden and still played hard. He's been consistent the entire season. So I'm hoping that, you know, knowing the young competitor and warrior he is, that we'll see him game 3 in Philly.
How long are you out with an orbital, though?
I mean, I think he's had it before, you know what I mean? But I think it's very serious. But I just think he's going to, you know, how often, although it's crazy when something's hurt, it always gets hurt. But you never, you know, how often do you really get hit? And so I see him coming back with the mask in some pain, but I don't think he's going to leave his team hanging. I think if they allow him to play, he's going to, if they give him a window to play, he's going to play. But I really felt like this was the opportunity for James to step up and be Houston James as far as the numbers go. You know, 28 points. 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and I think everyone's been kind of waiting for that opportunity.
Can he though? That's the question mark. Does James still have that? James,
I don't know. I think that's the discussion right now. They said he's only averaging 13 shots a game. You know what I mean? And he's someone that's near the 18 to 22 shots a game. But also credit Miami. You know what I mean? Although James hasn't been playing great, you know, Spo does a great job of cutting the head off the snake. You saw what they did to Trae Young, and without Embiid. They know, although, you know, Tobias Harris played well and Maxey played well, James is the game changer out of that group. Even if we haven't seen it, you know it only takes one bucket to get somebody like that going. So, you know, I'm looking for him. He has to step up at this point. And if he's not able to throughout this series, like I think he's still capable of, it's going to change the narrative on him because you got to think he's still only, to me, he's got miles, but he's only 32. You know, he'll be 33 next year. So you see guys like CP doing what he's doing at 37. You know, I'd hate to say, I hope he's just going through a bad stretch because I feel like there's still a lot of good basketball left in James Harden, but he's going to have to show us, I guess.
He's going to have to show us, man, and it don't look like a lot of times when you got that extra to hit the button and go on. I haven't seen that, man. I haven't seen, and then too, I feel like James Harden took the worst out of the rule changes. His game was all about
that.
Man. I think his free throws was like 12 to 15 free throws.
Well, I think I give him credit for he manipulated the game into a way that he mastered what they were calling. You know what I mean? So, you know, he would have off shooting nights, but still, you know, hit 17 or 18 free throws and have 35. You know what I mean? Off shooting nights. So now that they've kind of taken that back, obviously I think that's the one person who's been affected by it the most because that was his whole, he was a motherfucker to guard. He was. You know, I was one of those guys, and he was great at wherever you put your hand, he's either gonna lock it up or grab it. So then he's gonna do his shit and get to the line.
Is that why people ain't reaching on him? I wonder why people ain't reaching on him. He's going between the legs like.
You can't, because the second you do it, he'll come through and grab that hand and throw his arms through it and shoot.
And they was giving it, and they was consistent with it,
giving it up. You know what I mean? And that's when he was at his best. So, you know, they've taken that away. And that's a great point that a lot of people aren't talking about. You know, they're talking about, does he not have it no more? But when he was in his bag, he was getting 14 to 17 from the free throw line.
Man. That's a lot.
That's a lot of fucking free throws, man.
That's 15 extra points you get by just, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
And he's a great free throw shooter, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, the rule change I feel like have definitely hurt him.
Who do you like in the series, even though Embiid is coming back? I think Philly will stand a 2-0 spot from, I
think for the reason that we discussed, that we're not sure if James can be the James they need him to be, I'm taking Miami because I feel like Miami is a great defensive team, help side talk. They do a great job of cutting off the head of the snake. Although I don't think they're going to do nothing with Embiid. Embiid's going to have his way, but at the same time, they're going to make sure they try to neutralize everyone else. And then, I think the emergence of Tyler Hero, who should be Sixth Man of the Year. He led the team in scoring game 1. Bam is in his bag. Jimmy is kind of just foreseeing where he needs to plug in and play at.
He looks replenished though. He dunking the ball. He looks
playing hard. Obviously, the Philly series is personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They chose Tobias Harris over him.
Absolutely.
So he's definitely playing a lot harder. But I like Miami. They're not flashy. They're the number 1 team for a reason, and they're going to be a tough out.
They strap it up and come to work every time they come.
Yep.
You see that Spo system in the Miami Heat basketball system.
Yep.
Do they sweep the Sixers?
No, I think the Sixers get
one
or
game?
2, or depending how hard or how Embiid comes back.
Yeah, I want to see Embiid back. See what
could be 3, but I don't think they sweep them.
For 75 seasons and counting.
Showing out in the playoffs. They're back! Yes, let's get it. This is where you go big or go home.
Here we go from 82 games to 16 wins.
Yeah.
Here you go from the highlight to the spotlight.
From underrated to undeniable.
We're talking playoffs. Are you ready?
I was born ready. Come on.
Can you dig it?
Trophies.
It's the NBA playoffs, where greats arrive every year. But it's not about getting here, you gotta make it here. Making it means getting the W, when everybody leaves it out on the floor. Making it means winning it all, to become part of basketball history. Making it here is the difference between making it or breaking a legacy. So make sure you see every second of the NBA playoffs. It's all action, baby. Visit NBA.com/75 to learn more. Visit NBA.com/playoffs for schedules. Peace! The one thing you can't account for in any of these series, man, is how the other team is going to play spirited. You got all these roadmaps of what you did against these teams in the regular season, right? And you got all these, these stats and all this data that what happens, all that shit goes out the window. Playoffs come, the guy that didn't even think that was, he was the 9th, 10th guy on the bench. He comes in, he's averaging 25. You got to remember, everybody's a professional, and everybody's in the league, and everybody's earned the right to be in the league. And I can say playing at home, we felt like we was invincible at home in 08. We felt like we couldn't really be beat by, you had to be a really good team that, like Detroit at that time, they were a team who had been together. The Cavaliers with LeBron, the young LeBron, had been together. So teams, that were together gave us problems, but we were a very confident group. We was prepared to sweep the Hawks. What we wasn't prepared for was the Hawks playing spirited basketball in Atlanta. Usually when we go play the Hawks, it's more Celtics fans in the stands, and they're early. They got on jerseys. They're here. We're signing autographs, blah, 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 high-fiving our fans. When we got to the playoffs, it was the same fans, but it was more Atlanta fans that actually came to the game. The T.I.s, the 2 Chainz, the Quavos, the Migos, everybody, the Ludas, everybody. JD, everybody came out. Gucci, every rapper that came out of Atlanta was at the game. Every actor that came out of Atlanta was at the game. Every fan that loved the Hawks was at the game, and that was the difference. They played for them fans. Joe Johnson was incredible. Josh Smith was, on another level. Al Horford was on another level. They played great at home, so it didn't shock us when they beat us, but we were definitely like, okay, let's tighten this up. Let's get this over. But it did go 7. And that's when you got to really respect every team in the league. Every team in the playoffs has a chance to beat any other team. Know that we had to outright beat the Cavaliers. Well coached. It was just one of them dog fights. I just feel like they didn't really have the know-how to beat a team like us at that time. I don't think he had enough. He didn't have enough in Cleveland to beat us. We looked at the Detroit Pistons as a team that not only could beat us, but had the formula for beating us. They had post presence, they had outside shooting, they had defense, they had a gritty shooting guard, they had a great defender in a small forward. They had two big greats who played great off each other and had a reputation. Like, they had everything that we was trying to actually establish for ourselves. But being basketball-spirited players like ourselves, we didn't care. We actually thought we were better than Detroit, and we just had to go out and prove it. And we did, beat them in 6. I actually thought it was gonna go 7, but for the most part. And then we had an emerging young point guard ourselves, and Rajon Rondo. I thought it was his coming out party. And I guess the world being able to see him grow within the playoffs. That's another thing. Players grow in ways where you didn't really anticipate or you didn't see it, especially when they have a a young mind like him, a young great that's emergence inside of his heart, and knowing what Rondo and how his spirit is, it was great to watch him grow up in that. We actually thought we were better than the Lakers all the way through. We knew that they were confident. We knew that they were well coached and was going to be well prepared. But in the end, man, we had this supreme confidence that the only team we actually saw that was on the same levels was Detroit. And that was because they were just as physicals. They were a team full of rings, you know what I'm saying? They weren't around. They were some real cats. We didn't see the Lakers like that. We didn't see them as a gutty team. They didn't want to. I knew that they wanted to finesse and go up and make it into a possessive and more West Coast, more West Coast style, meaning that more possessions, more like a running gun versus stop, bar fight, guy mano a mano. And I felt like we made it that. We made it our style. When it was a rat race, we got into the rat race, we won that. But when it came down to it, we imposed our will on that finals and played our style basketball. Rest in peace to Mamba, my dog. The first thing he said to me was, he was talking about this China trip and how long he was in China, and I called him, and he said to me, man, you didn't call me, man. And we had like a little conversation about that. I told him whatever. He was like, well, I hate to do this to you. You know what I'm saying? I hate to do this. And I said, I hate to do this to you. You got 3 already. You know what I'm saying? You got to kill me out here. And that was kind of the last kind of jokey conversation we had, and we went at it. And you know what's crazy, man? Doc Rivers said before the game, he said, man, if we don't beat this team by 20, 30, we shouldn't want this win. And I was like that was the most arrogant shit to say at a moment like that. Because if you really think about it, if the Lakers come back and they tie their game, we go to a game 7, who knows what, right? I just remember us. I remember how passionate we was to win and to get this over with. We had just felt like we had a chance to end this in Los Angeles and let it slip through our fingers. And yeah, everybody that I can remember being locked in was locked in. I don't think none of us slept. We landed, I don't remember the next day, but it felt like the next day just flew and went. And next thing you know, we was in game 6. And I knew we was gonna win that game. I felt it. I felt it in my heart. I felt it in my soul. I knew we was gonna win that game. It kind of hit me probably like 2 minutes. 2 minutes ready to go. I think we was up some crazy, and we was in here rooting for the guys who were having a chance to have their moment. Leon Poe was going crazy. A bunch of guys got in and got played, but around 2 minutes, it hit me. Like, oh shit, we should have won this show. And it hit me, and then it hit me till it hit me, and then confetti, and then everything went silent. I saw my sister, she was waving. I saw my boys, everybody was waving. I saw Wolf, I saw my family. It was everywhere. It was everywhere. I looked up and I kept blinking. I had confetti in my face and everything. Then the trophy gets carried around and everybody's grabbing it, kissing and slobbing, all this. And I would never forget that. Yeah, my kid was born a couple days before we won it. And it was crazy. That was crazy. If you are a betting man, and I know you are, I don't know who's your affiliate, but if you're a betting man, the winner comes out of the East or the West this year?
I think the winner comes out of the West this year, but it's going to be tough. I feel like Milwaukee, it's crazy that I'm picking Boston, and I think that Milwaukee's going to come out of the East. It don't even sound right, but like I said, I'm not going to flip, but I feel like Milwaukee is going to give either Phoenix or Golden State a real problem because how big they really are. Yeah. And then, obviously, if they play, that they got that experience. I would love to see my man CP, get a ring. But then I also like I said, that the Warriors are back on track, and they've always had a place in my heart. So, but I'm saying that the winner's going to come out of the West. I think it's going to be either whoever goes in the next round, Golden State and Phoenix.
Right, I'm skipping over all that. I'm just trying to get to it. I'm over here watching all of it, and some days I feel like, hey, I don't know if they can, and then I'll see the West play, and I'm like, man, I don't know if anybody in the East can.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Now being that, that remains to be seen.
It's going to be great because it's a contrast of styles. I mean, Phoenix and Golden State are very similar, but then the East is completely different type of style. Beat you up, bang you up a little bit, really big. So it's going to be like a David and Goliath, not record and talent-wise, but just like the size, because Golden State and Phoenix, but again, adding a JaVale McGee and Aiden and Biyombo changes the story as well. So it's going to be fun, man.
It is. And, too, I just think that the playoffs are back, too, man.
Yeah.
Remember, you used to get excited when the playoffs come around. And
the energy.
We back there, yo.
Yeah.
We back there.
The energy is fun. It's getting warm outside. It's this is the best time of the year to me.
How the boys, man?
They're great. Thank you for asking, man. We've been running around, playing AU. We're doing a show with Showtime, and
what's up?
They
still got their own little one too.
Their little podcast they're doing yet, the Barnes Boys podcast, and then our AU team is ranked number 2 in the country. So at some point we're gonna have a head-on collision with the number 1 team. And
now who's the number 1 team?
TTO.
TTO.
So they're
now,
based
any
out of.
affiliates?
I think is it Victor Oladipo? It's Victor Oladipo's program.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they got some really good players over there, man. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to run into. So I'm doing actually, while you mentioned it. So I'm doing it into the summer. I remember talking to Cole, rest in peace, before he went away, and he and I discussed, because he was starting something called the Mamba Cup, and he ended up passing. But the kind of the premise behind it was, like, the West Coast, California in particular, like it doesn't have nothing like stapled, like a big tournament that brings everyone out. You got to go all over the country to get that.
Got to go to Vegas, got to go to Orlando.
Yeah, you got to,
exactly.
Travel. Yep. So we started that with Showtime, called the Bash for Cash with Showtime and Legends. So we're gonna handpick the top 20 teams in 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade boys in the country.
Oh wow!
Get them out here and find out who's the baddest team in the country.
Invitation only?
Invitation only.
Ooh, you got to be top 10 to get in this?
So we're inviting the top 20, hoping to get 12 to 15 teams from each grade. And then we really gonna see who's number 1. So there ain't no running, there ain't no come meet us here, like come to Cali. We're trying to get airplane sponsors and hotel sponsors, so just everything is on the house. All you gotta do is bring your team and come hoop, and we're gonna see who the number 1 team is. So
a lot of ex-players have some successful.
Yeah, there's a lot of dads.
Tim Thomas, I know had one. Shout to Tim.
J.R. Ryder. Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson in it. A lot of dads. Perk.
Yeah, a lot of them embody kind of reliving being a kid again.
Man. But getting real coaching, because I don't know about you, but I didn't get no real coaching until later, really along the line. So be able to, be a former NBA player and installing with our team. Like, I've been drilling this pro set, spacing, help side, defense talk since they were 9 years old. So by the time
you coach?
I coach my kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So by the time they get to high school, college, and hopefully beyond, they're gonna be like, damn, we know what help side is in the corner rotation and the second effort, and come off the ball screen, move it ahead, and do a step up screen. So we're doing pro shit against these teams. So it's just like I'm trying to instill what's next for them. So
how old are these kids? 12,
they're
13
now.
12, 13.
But I've been coaching them since I retired. They understand, bro. They understand it. Like Nate travels with us, bro. They do pro shit. You know what I mean? And that's why it's just so fun seeing it and teaching them and see them starting to kind of understand. A team will go on a 12-0 run, and I won't call a timeout because I want them to figure it out. Like, what kind of set can we ran? Let's switch our defense up. But where can we go? Who do we need to get the ball to right now to stop this run? I want them to, like, I was coaching and calling timeouts and getting them, but I'm getting to the point now where we got down 12-0 in one game, and parents are looking, call timeout. Kids are kind of looking around. I was like, come on, get through it. What play are you going to call? You know what I mean? So kind of that Phil Jackson, I'm trusting in you to figure that shit out.
Yeah. And that's IQ too. That's basketball building.
Well, I'm so busy, I don't have time to teach them the skill. You know what I mean? And the skill has surpassed where I was at anyway. I was a football player out there hooping, so I'm gonna teach you the IQ like no one else can teach you.
You'll adjust to it.
And then you can do the skill, and I'm gonna put you in place to make, try to make you great.
How important is it to not just teach these kids the basketball skills? Are you giving them, you got so much NIL shit. You got so much early business that these kids and parents are going through. Yeah. Talk about a little bit of that. Are you dealing with that a little bit?
So that's what. So the boys are 13 right now. So I think it kind of starts in high school, but it's what I'm trying to implement with the twins with their podcast. We're on the verge of signing some deals, so that they've started their own little LLC that they learned how to do and understand. How money comes in and out, and learning the NFTs and the NIL. So all this new wave, the crypto, right? All the stuff that we didn't learn until we got into our mid to late 30s, I'm trying to instill in these boys in their teenage years, so that whether it's sports, whether it's media, whether it's business, they'll be ready for whatever, comes their way.
Wow, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And they have an imagination in how all this goes.
Well, they got their finger. I mean, that's what they keep me in the game. They have their finger on the pulse. You know what I mean? So for them to kind of really learn the business side of it, they'll be, taste makers and creators in their own way. They have their own little cult, and they got older kids coming up to them at tournaments and parents, we love your podcast. Can we take pictures? You know what I mean? So they're going to be, kids that are, athletes and also intelligent, but also kind of paving the way for the next, how we're kind of doing. They're going to start doing it, I feel like, at an earlier age.
Oh, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Shout out to the twins, man.
Yeah.
Tell them I asked about them, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, talk about this, man. I saw you, first off, shout out to Seven Leaves, man, and your collaborations with them, man. I know you've been working with them.
Yeah.
And good looks on setting that up for the tour, man. I saw their 1-2. They got a great setup, make some great stuff, man. Talk about how you met up with Seven Leaves and getting that sponsorship or that partnership.
Yeah, so I'm a part owner of the company. So I was someone who, my dad ran the streets and sold drugs. So I've seen a lot at an early age, but the only thing I felt like I wanted to try when I was little was weed, because my dad smoked cigarettes and I hated the smell of cigarettes, but he would smoke a joint in front of us and I'd be like, oh, okay, that smells a lot better. And he's
Incense.
And he's calm.
Incense.
Right, and he's calm, you know what I mean? That's the only time I really saw him laugh and watch the games and shit. So I'm thinking like, okay, at some point, so I'm seeing this at 4 or 5 years old. And then at 14, I took some shit from his plant, got a horrible headache, but I wasn't a quitter. So I got some different shit the next time and started smoking right there. And bro, when I tell you, I've been smoking every day since I was about 14 and a half. So all through high school, all through college, all throughout the league. And it was just something that I had a rough childhood. So it just kind of, it quieted all the noise. It allowed me to focus. It allowed me to sleep. It was doing other things for my body that I didn't realize at the time. But, being someone who smokes and taking so many chances, until the research backed up the way the plant made us feel, we were just stoners and it was a gateway drug and we're in the drug program and losing a bunch of money. But, finally the research has caught up to what, we already knew as consumers. And I just thought it was a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? And then myself and Al Harrington, we, shout out Viola, my boy Al, we were pressing the line with the Players Association and the NBA about, doing your research and giving us alternative medicines because, they'll pump us full of whatever.
All that.
Opioids, Toradol shots, whatever it takes to get us back healthy, but wanted to fine us and suspend us for cannabis. So I just think it's at a beautiful point now where they're not even testing for it, which is great. But I say all that to say, I retired in 2017 and I really wanted to be a part of that shield for the guys that were still playing because, some of the best players in the world literally are in the drug program while they're in the finals and winning MVPs and winning championships. So it's just like that stigma of you can't play with this is completely false. So, I kind of wanted to be, one of the people that helped pave the way for just understanding and open-mindedness with it. And I was able to help do that. And then, with that in 2017, I met up with Seven Leaves, which is from my hometown, Sacramento, and just really kind of embraced, what they were trying to do. And, the weed continued to get better. And, I took up a stake in the company and just really been trying to push it. You know what I mean? It's not so much that we're pushing get high. That's not my move. That's what Snoop used to do. With all due respect, that was his way. But I think as an athlete, it's more like, okay, this is what it does for me. And this is why I'm doing it. So kind of a little bit of education behind why you always see me high. So that was really my mission, and it's been successful. And I think it's dope that, I was a small part of kind of changing the narrative in sports when it comes to cannabis, period.
Man, if y'all don't know, man, and you live in California, man, make sure you get those Seven Leaves, Matt Barn pre-rolls. Yeah. They are fire. Just got to shout it out real quick, man.
I appreciate that.
Is the politician in you, in the politics, a real thing?
Yeah.
I hear you speak. When I hear you speak, Matt, I feel like your heart. I hear your soul speaking for the ones who don't have a voice.
Right.
You're speaking with so much magnitude and so much volume. Speak about your love for should I ask? Do you have a love for politics, or is it coming from something else?
And shout out, our guy, Black Mike. He's been a big pusher and advocate in Sacramento about,
shout
just
to Church.
Yeah, church.
Right.
On just kind of moving the needle. It piqued my interest initially when Kevin Johnson, former Phoenix Suns.
Right. Shout to KJ.
Yes, for sure. Shout out, started doing stuff in Sacramento. And at that time, he was just cleaning up his neighborhood, Oak Park. You know, Oak Park was where my auntie had her throat slit and was left in the gutter to die.
I went over there to eat at Fixin's. Shout to Fixin's and the Kool-Aid and the sweet potatoes.
So they got one at LA Live now, too.
Somebody told me that down in, we got to do that. We got to do that. That's on the to-do list.
Let's go shoot something over there. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
And KJ's the homie. He's always welcome.
Every time I go in, I've seen him in there.
He's
I've been in there
lot.
twice.
Yeah, no, ESPN is right upstairs. So on my off time, I'm down there in the private room drinking Kool-Aid, watching games, eating motherfucking catfish nuggets.
We're gonna do that.
But no, what I saw KJ doing was just fixing up his community. So it wasn't so much the politics on that side. I'm just like, damn, he's in a position where he can give back to his people and make it better. So that's what initially sparked my interest. And then, you know, as we continued to move along and all the police brutality that was happening and social media really started becoming a platform for athletes to really not just shut up and dribble, but speak our piece, because I think we're prominent figures in the community. It just really made me start speaking up. And then, you know, the Stephon Clark stuff happened in Sacramento, in my hometown, where, you know, the police shot this man in his back several times in his grandmother's backyard and killed him. And I see his family on TV crying, and I was just like, damn, I got to do something. So, you know, I pledged to take care of everything. And then DeMarcus Cousins, shout out Boogie, joined me. But it really just started showing me, man, it's just like, man, these people need our voices, because this continues to happen. And although it's, you know, it's on high alert now, it's still happening, you know? So I just feel like, you know, there's so much that can be done, and people that look like us never really have the aspirations to do something like that. You know what I mean? And I just think it would be great to continue to use my platform and my voice and the exposure I bring to highlight issues. And, you know, obviously I don't want to get too deep into politics with the president and all that shit, but I just really feel like on the local level is where you can see some immediate change. So really just educating us as the Black community, because I feel like we came out in record numbers along with the brown community and other ethnicities this past elections, and got someone that we felt needed to get out, and brought someone else in. But the problem is the person that we brought in has not really been living up to it. So I feel like because we're not educated, a lot of our people are just gonna say like, well, shit, we did it last time, he didn't do shit for us, so fuck it. You know what I mean? So that's
politics though, right?
And exactly, but to me, that's higher level politics. I'm talking about your community, where your potholes are and troubled areas are, and you know, the police chief, like that's all stuff that people can vote on. The mayor, that's all stuff you can vote on. So
that 100,000 that controls that.
Come on, man, that's gonna control the neighborhood where your kids grow up at. You know what I mean? So that's what I really want to put onus on. And you know, I feel like being mayor, I can just continue to help clean up Sacramento. There's a lot of gang activity out there right now. People are, you know, unfortunately taking people's lives left and right. So it's just trying to show these people there's hope, but I feel like we have to pour some money back in these communities to give them hope, because we want them to put down the gun, and we don't replace that with nothing. No tools to help them better themselves. And people don't understand, it's not, you may see that shit commercial in the rap game or whatever, but there's people really out here day to day that need their gun to feed their families. You know what I mean? So I just want to be in a position to be able to give them tools to be able to feed their families, so they can see their kids grow up, so they, as themselves, can continue to grow and get wiser. So, you know, I do have aspirations. I'm 42 now. I feel like at 50, I want to make that run, but I'm starting to plant seeds back in my hometown, doing things here and there. So when it's time to, you know, press go, that, you know, we have a pretty solid track record out there.
Real talk, man. I feel like what encourages young kids, or encourage anybody, is to see someone do it.
Right.
See you out here actively.
You have to.
You know, is a great inspiration to all. Could you talk about the emergence of all the smoke and the growth? I was there in Chicago when you guys had just started.
Yeah.
You guys had some dope interviews early on. I mean, you've been going like a wildfire since, man. What episodes are y'all on now?
I think we're like the 130s, 140s, something like that. We're
incredible.
moving. No, it's been fun, man. And you were one of my favorite interviews by the way, so thank you. You know what I mean?
Thank you for giving me a platform for that. I was doing Area 21 at the time. I had something of a certified in my head, and I don't know, after I left there thinking different of all the smoke and thinking different of Showtime basketball, if I'm being honest. And it helped things. Coming out of retirement, what did you want to do? Was this what you, right.
No, I mean, I wanted to, again, be a cannabis advocate, and I wanted to learn how to produce and direct. You know, I wanted to be behind the camera. I felt like since I was, 18 years old at UCLA, I've kind of been on TV. So I didn't really feel like, I've had my run on TV, but let me learn behind the scenes of TV and be able to create quality content and fun content that I feel like our people would like. But then a friend of mine encouraged me, she's like, you've always been so well spoken in your interviews. you should try commentating, go do some ESPN or Fox. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I don't really want to be on TV no more. It's like, just do it. So, I took her advice. I went and did it a couple of times, and I was like, okay, this is cool. You know what I mean? And then I started getting better at it, and then they started, giving me real money to come in for an hour a day and talk about basketball. I'm like, you want to?
I didn't know you had that. I know obviously we played against each other.
Right.
I didn't know your IQ was like that.
Yeah.
When I first heard you in a debate, and I heard your IQ and how you whatever, I can remember how you guard the ball, how you got through screens, your mark on the game, how you played, your style.
Yeah.
And I heard it come out in your, and I was like, holy shit, I ain't gonna sit up and say we had the best relationship when we played.
It was just competitive.
Right. We both trying to win.
That's why I loved you so much, is because you was you. And like to me, even if we're on another team, you bring out the energy that I feel like everyone needs to play with. So it was always a respected. Obviously, you're one of the greatest of all time, but just as far as between those lines, the energy you brought to me always picked up the level of the game, period.
And I always watched film. I watched your last 5 games. I'm like, this nigga wasn't doing none of this in the 5 games, right? But I'm watching your genius, bro, as you, and I mean, it's shout to Stack too, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
But
that.
bro, every time I watch an episode of you, bro, it seems like you get better. You're getting better in the interviews. Talk about learning on the fly and how you were when you first started versus what you are now.
I think it's all about creating a safe environment, first of all, because as a former athlete, there's kind of a rift between players and media. I'm not really going to open up because I don't really know how you're going to take this shit and run with it.
And I don't like you to begin with because I heard you say something.
We kind of have to talk to you. So to me, first and foremost, when I started realizing, okay, I can cross over in this space, I wanted to create an environment where if you came down and sat with us, you know that we're not trying to do no clickbait. We're not trying to twist your words. All I want to do is really get a chance to get to know you better, but then also you paint your picture of your life. So you're great at basketball, but what else are you? How are you as a father? What kind of business are you in? What do you like to do when you just don't? I wanted to give fans that side because that's the side I wanted to know. So I think first and foremost, we had to create an environment where you felt comfortable enough to share that kind of shit. What I take pride in with our show is, I can't tell you how many times people have said, well, I've never told anybody this. You know what I mean? And that's when they're just like, okay, I fuck with these guys. You know what I mean? So, my whole approach with it is, I think, the way you frame a question. Because you and I can ask someone the same question and get 2 completely different answers based off our style of the way we asked it. So I feel like that I've been through drugs, abuse, violence, death, divorce, fight a teammate, custody battle. Like, I've been through so much shit. I feel like every question I'm asking you, I felt like I've touched that in a little, if it hasn't been a lot, I've touched that a little bit in my life. So let me frame this question knowing that, bro, I done kind of been there. So you feel more comfortable when I deliver the question to you. And I think that's how you get the best out of people. And, it just took me a minute to kind of feel, I think I'm a good people person and energy reader. So I kind of started seeing when I would frame questions a certain way, it's almost like, okay, he knows where I'm coming from. Let me give him the real shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like, that we've done a great job at, one, creating a safe environment and just allowing people to really be themselves. My whole thinking behind all the smoke was like this. I'd come to the house, smoke, drink, and we watching the game, we just talking shit. You know how great that content would be if motherfuckers just heard us at it, us
it's
just
some rawness shit.
Not even knowing, acting like there's no care. We're just watching the game. You know what I mean? So many gems and game are dropped within that. So I was just like, I don't want this to be an interview in your face. I want it to be like we in the man cave kicking and watching the game. And to me, that's where you get your best content. And so whether the cameras are here or not, it's going to be a vibe regardless. So, I think that's what we've been able to create. Shout out my whole team, Showtime, Malka, my brother Jack. And not really realizing within that time that we're also encouraging other people to it's time to tell our story. The people who've never played the game have always tried to tell our story. And some of them done a good job. But they're, again, who better to tell our story? Now we have people that are intelligent enough to articulate that. Who better to tell how I ran my life and my career than me? Who better to tell how you ran your shit than you? Because it was you. You know what I mean? So now that we've kind of continued to show people bro, you can tell your own story. You know what I mean? You tell us. Don't let them tell us about you. So I think that's something we created. And I think a perfect example of it, and shout out my brother Draymond, because he's a fucking genius. When he got kicked out for that flagrant 2, he didn't do no media after the game. He went on his podcast right after the game and told, this is what I was thinking. Why give that story to all these other outlets when, motherfucker, you can come to my outlet, because I know everyone wants to know what I'm thinking right now because it was some bullshit, but come on my platform and understand from my mouth so it's not twisted exactly how I felt in that moment. And I think that's where, media's gone. And I love the fact that we're a part of kind of letting everybody know, not that we're the ones, but we're a small part of being like, bro, you tell your story.
You think Twitter started that? You think Twitter and all these avenues of social media to be able to divorce, you think that's the pattern too going forward, to control your own outlet?
Why not? I think so, and you can get paid for it too. But I think I think Twitter put it on the map, but honestly, I feel like what kind of sparked it was the Donald Sterling shit. That was like right 2014, 15. This is when, LeBron stepped up and said something, and we all started, like, before it was just, we're showing our lifestyle, we're showing how we play hoop, we're showing this, we're showing that. We've never really had anything unified to discuss, and I think that situation made people realize, like,
band together.
Together, man, and then understanding the drawback. You're hearing LeBron James speak directly on how it makes him feel. You're hearing the Clipper team, the Lob City team, who's directly close. This is how it made us feel. So people started kind of kicking off, like, yo, we can kind of tell people how we feel ourselves. Like, okay, the media, you have to do the media, but let's get on our device and, like, I didn't like that shit and this motherfucker shouldn't be, let me tell you directly again, same thing that Draymond's doing now. Let me tell you how we really feel about the situation, not how they ended up coming out in this article or this little edit that they had to trim down and change around, so.
You've been a part of I know you're friends with a lot of people in the league. Do you think you could do all the smoke with someone other than Jack? I actually see you in other components. I see you on ESPN. You know what I love about y'all? I know y'all two real niggas. I hate to even say that. I don't even know if y'all can trust it, but I just said it, so we just said it.
It's your show, right?
But fuck off, right? But y'all are two real niggas, dog. Ain't no covering in what y'all on, bro. I love the fact that it has a real component. How do you? I guess the question I'm asking is, I know Network, and I know Network has agenda. I know they want it to look, sound, blah, 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 right? And that realness that y'all have able to encapsulate. Y'all just don't talk to athletes. Y'all not talking to rappers now. Y'all talking to influencers. Talk about being able to, just how are you able to keep the realness of sometimes creating something? You have to take some off. You have to put a little bit of this on it. You have to put a little, you know what I'm saying? Tell me about keeping that formula of just realness in your storytelling and in your interviews.
I think that I'm always going to be me, first and foremost.
Which, by the way, Showtime does a great job of allowing us be just who you are, right? That's the magic.
So I think that's first and foremost. And then you just kind of, I feel like, through my upbringing, being Italian and Black, growing up in neighborhoods that, had Black and brown
That's why
and
you
Asians.
crazy. That's why you crazy.
Black and brown and Asians.
El Loco, okay.
But my parents used to put me in, so to speak, white schools. Like, although I'm half Italian, like, I never hung out with white kids until I was 9 years old when I moved to Sacramento. You know what I mean? So I think that early on, I didn't understand it and get it, but now I didn't. I was like, I can't go to school with my friends in my neighborhood, but the whole time they were just kind of letting me see something else that I've never seen before.
That's what's up.
So it kind of kept me because I came from the streets, so I'm good now, from the hood to the White House to wherever. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say now in media, I feel like I can be a chameleon and give you what you want. So if I'm on ESPN, I'm still gonna be me. I can critique, but I can do it respectfully, but I can give you a real raw player's point of view. But the reason why I wanted to do something like All the Smoke is because I can really be me, and if I slip and say fuck, shit, bitch, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm not gonna be, and if I say nigga, if I say some stuff that may be too much for an ESPN Disney company, that I'm still in a safe space, you know what I mean? So
your core audience keeps you.
So I feel, So I feel like I couldn't do All the Smoke without Jack because we have such a chemistry, but I feel like I can be in any space. Like, my goal is to be like a daytime talk host, like a Michael Strahan type that can just talk about life. Because again, I told you, I've been through so much stuff. So All the Smoke is special, and it's special, one, because of our team, but just me and Jack's vibe. That's my brother for real. So that's why I couldn't do All the Smoke, but I can definitely do other public speaking, hosting gigs, holding my own show type, and hopefully that's where I'll sail to. One day they'll actually give me an opportunity to do that as I continue to kind of break down, oh damn, I didn't know he was like this, and making the right people see that. So it's just been fun because, again, I haven't, and what I love about you is you haven't either. Like, what you see is what you get. You know what I mean? And sometimes you might have to, press that censor button every once in a while, but people love us for that, because too many people come into this space and try to be somebody else.
Right.
Like everyone else is already taken, bro. You're in this space to be you. So I'm gonna give you who I really am, but obviously I tailor that to each platform I'm on.
And y'all not did so much in this space, bro. Y'all have taken the podcast category and innovated it. What is next for All the Smoke?
Live.
Y'all have went to athletes, y'all did rappers.
Yeah.
First off, let me ask you this. Don't even answer that. What was the shift to artists? Just being able to get them on there and talk to, because when y'all went to Kiss and y'all went to Fat Joe, I was like, this is fucking genius.
Yeah, no,
I was like, holy shit.
I just think versatility. You know, I think obviously we had to come in the basketball space because that's what we're known as.
Yeah.
But once we kind of come in and plant our roots onto who we could really be, I think our format, we can talk to anybody. We can talk to we can talk to politicians, we can talk to rappers, actors, actresses, any kind of entertainers, any kind of, like, I feel like just because it's just a real conversation, you know what I mean? It's not so much sports driven now. Now we're just talking about life, and that's what I want to talk about anyway, because I know how great somebody was and what they do. That's why I'm a fan, and I feel like that's why I want to bring you on my show, but I really want to know, you know, I want myself to know personally, and then I want the world to see, like, what do you like when you're not the great Kevin Garnett, you're not the great Steph Curry, you're not the great Fat Joe. You know, you're not Jeannie. Like, I wanted people to see Jeannie Buss.
Right.
You know what I mean? Show the other side of Jeannie Buss and, you know, her crazy story of kind of being groomed since she was a little girl to be the owner of the fucking Lakers.
And then it's Dr. Buss, and if you know anything about Dr. Buss, man.
Come on, man.
Genius, bro.
But yeah, I just wanted to continue to show people, you know, just the other side of people they admire. So what's next for All the Smokers, we're gonna start going on tour.
Different cities?
And doing live
Get the
shows.
fuck-
Yeah, so you really kind of kicked that off, I think, you know, which you did at All-Star Chicago kind of gave us a taste.
Y'all did.
Yeah, no, but I, like I said, it was one of my favorite unions, but your energy, you know, ignited the whole building. So I'm thinking, yo, we can really travel with this and have our guests' energy, you know, just enhance everybody like I think we have some wins. So we want to make it like we're going to team up with a company called Light, that's out of Silicon Valley, and it's just really kind of a new way to kind of really keep more control and really make more money than the other companies will allow you to make. But
Light, L-I-T?
L-Y-T-E. Yeah, so we're
So
gonna.
y'all finna go to different communities and put light on it, eh?
Mm-hmm, and you know.
So y'all going to Atlanta, so example given, y'all go to Atlanta for 5 days, get T.I., get everybody, Big Mike.
What we'll do is we'll go into Atlanta and we're gonna find whoever we feel like fits the vibe, and we're gonna have a comedian and we're gonna have an A-list musical performance. So almost like an old school.
On stage, live?
Arsenio Hall type.
Y'all streaming that, eh?
Yeah. Come on, man. So it's just like we want to give you an evening of just enjoyment, and then after you can come in the back, and for the VIP price, you can come and burn down with me and Jack.
On the NFT side, right?
Yeah, come on, man. Hey, okay.
Bro, what a merch at, man?
Yeah,
what a merch at? What a little stuffed animals, the little Barnes with the, you know what I'm saying? And the,
so yeah, no, we got
the little Steve Jacks with the chain on, you know what I'm saying?
So I mean, again, you know, shout out Showtime Basketball because it was new. Man. You know, when we came to the platform, it was new, and I think we've taken it to another level, and they really started to entrust, you know, us and what we've built. You know, bringing someone like you on, and Paul on, and Jamal Crawford on, and Chandler Parsons on, and all the people we've brought on. Like, we're really starting to build something out. You know what I mean? So, you know, they've entrusted in us and given us the opportunity. And to me, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I love Showtime to death, but what I'm doing is I'm learning the process. So soon it's just gonna be me. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be able to put, you know, everything out there and do that. So it's been a great relationship and a great time. And, you know, we've used each other to kind of really build up a monster. So I love Showtime. I love what I'm doing over there. I hope to always kind of be over there and be able to do something. But
man, we putting stock in this shit. We building this shit.
Man.
We ain't going no
people,
fucking way.
Hey, people are getting, you know, a lot of promotions because of the greatness that we've given these cameras. So, but again, at the same time, they're giving us an opportunity to create and learn and open doors for others. And to me, you know, once we open the door, our job is to bring all of us. You know what I mean? Because we all got something to say. So that's what I love that Showtime's been able to do, is they really trusted in us to, you know, build what we've built and bring in who we need to bring in and continue, because we know what the people want. You know, why guess when we can give them to, like, this is what they want, this is gonna work. And that's when it's been happening. So it's been a fun journey.
You know, inadvertently, man, you guys have become some activists, you know, just inadvertently, just because of the conversations, and then not being afraid to actually take the conversations and establish some solutions, which everybody needs.
Right.
and and still remain to be cool in that whole thing, and not be so political and CNN
and not always right either. You know what I mean? We're not always going to be right.
That's why I said it's conversation.
Yeah,
that conversation it's a balance of all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I want to hear what you have to say. Like, how can we together fix this problem? Like, I've been through this part of it, you've been through that part of it. Like, how can we help through our experience other people not have to make those mistakes or get out of the situation they're in because they see that we've done it?
You're watching the games. Are you watching how crypto is changing the game?
I need to learn crypto. I'm not up on it.
Are you in the NFTs or you in the Coinbase?
So I'm on it. So it's funny you said that. So Snoop's little son, Cordell, is killing the space. So I literally shout out Cordell. I usually, he was on the show, right?
He was on the joint, yo.
So I literally hit
NFT joint with him.
I literally hit him up 2 weeks ago before I went on vacation. I literally just got back. I'm like, I want you to come sit down and teach me and the twins this whole little shit. So I'm looking forward to learning the NFT and the crypto and all this kind of stuff.
We're gonna make that a show. When he do that, I'm gonna be right there.
Come on.
Because I want to actually
I think it's dope. You know what I mean? Like, to me, we can never, this is a young man's game in everything. And the fact that they've come in this metaverse and Dog is killing it in the motherfucking
killing it.
But it's because of his son and his little partner. What's his partner's name? Man. They're really
doing their thing, yo.
They're change makers, you know what I mean? And I want to learn. I want to learn from them. You were someone that some people felt that you stayed and loyal for too long, and I feel like Dame is, cut from the same type cloth. So you said you had that conversation. What's that like?
I did, man. When I had it with him, I didn't want to overstep a boundary.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I know we're all here for 75. I was trying to respect everybody's space. I wanted to actually get up in the room and be like, yo, everybody in this room actually motivated me to be here.
Right.
I was here for when it was top 50, and I knew how I felt. And then I looked back at 75 and I saw Ja, I saw all the young players kind of looking at us with that little gaze.
Right.
But when I went up to him, I was just like, yo, congratulations. But man, I gotta get this off my heart, man. Do not, don't let your loyalty ego take over. I get it. You're gonna always be implemented in this community. Portland ain't going nowhere. They're gonna always fuck with you. They're gonna always know what you've done. The bye-bye ain't never going nowhere. You classic,
Legendary.
you immortal. But Lord, what I learned about playing with Paul early, what I learned about playing with Rondo early, what I learned about playing with greats like Ray Allen early, T.A., everybody on that team was great in their own right? In my eyes, right?
Right, in their role.
But what I love this, Ray made me better. Paul made me better. Rondo made me better. T.A., all those guys playing against Perk, Baby, Leon Pope, every day made me a better player, right? So I was telling him the magic that you get from another star player. Like, first off, you think you're psycho. First off, when you're a player and you're chasing something and you become this thing where you can score the ball on both ends, you can guard a nigga, you can score the ball. When you become that psycho, because you really become a psycho.
Right.
The girl you with, your family, it's just a whirlwind of shit, right? But when you meet another mama that's going through that same thing, and then you got man, I just looked at it like, man, Paul and Ray. Man, I ain't gonna ever get no chance to be able to play with these two greats.
Right.
And that's all I'm saying to him.
Right.
When KD left Golden State, the first thing I said was, who is he gonna actually play that's better than Steph Curry? Like, bro, I get it. No shit, no, nothing on Kyrie, because Kyrie's A1. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
But Steph Curry, bro, you had a chance to, man, you could have got 70. It's like Shaq and Cole.
How many?
What the fuck y'all doing?
How many?
So you gotta ask yourself that. Ego, bro. Ego comes into the play, and you thinking, you embody this, and some motherfuckers think they can take that and go somewhere else with it when it's not that easy.
Right.
And that's all I was trying to say to him, man. Being able to be with another great that can actually take, man, people would come to me in the huddle, and I ain't never heard somebody on my team do this. Take the court off, I got it. And I was like, what? No, I got it, dog. I got it. This thing can't guard. He can't guard me. I'm gonna give this nigga 15. No, you know what I'm saying?
It's your turn.
I'd be like, and at first I was like, nah, I'm with you. He's like, no, I got it though. And he would just check the pick, give me up, and stuff like that. And he would take it over. Fourth quarter, all right, ticket, it's you. Cool, let's get it. And I was like, oh yeah, they guard him now? And it made sense. I was like, man, I should have did this shit like, man. That's when I felt like, man, y'all don't even know me. I would tape up and be out here one leg. Man, you know me, I'm out here, ankle, arm, back. And it's like, man, when you get some help, man, I can be out here hurt and still be in the game. Okay, fourth quarter, okay, cool, let me get it. Run it. All right, go ahead, go. And I was like, man, that's when I felt, not dumb, but I was like, man, I should have got to this early. And that's all I was trying to get him.
Right.
But when you play with others, when I watched him play in Denver and he had that crazy run, He had a crazy run. Man, y'all don't understand. That run in Denver, man, if he had like, let's say if he had a Klay Thompson or equivalent to him, not to say that CJ wasn't that, man, it would have made that experience a little more like voila, and that's all I was saying, bro. You're gonna miss out on playing with a great. Can you imagine Lillard and Joker playing together? The way Joker passes and the dynamic of the IQ, that's all I'm saying. And I was like, man, you're gonna look up and you're gonna be out of time. And you ain't gonna be able to make these 2-year, 3-year. He's been in Portland for how long making that same decision, right? It's gotten you nowhere and you running in a circle, bro. Like, and you're gonna look up and it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone.
Because it go by fast.
It's gonna be gone. Look at Melo, man. Melo shouldn't be in this situation. Now, Melo should have been in like 4 or 5 finals already. You know what I'm saying? Dwight, he only got a couple chances to go at it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's the mistake I think a lot of people make is if you're fortunate enough to get there, you think it happens. Okay,
that's the biggest misconception in the league. Back. Oh, we're gonna be here next year. We'll be back.
Rarely.
Man, rarely
does that happen.
Bron the only nigga that went to the thing straight.
8, 9
you gotta have the league in you and the nigga get hurt or roll an ankle or look at Dwight. How the fuck Siakam is gonna, what do you call that, Euro over, he gonna Euro over Embiid? You tried to Euro over 2 niggas. One nigga said, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Look, boy. And then he out. And then it's the front of the elbow. It ain't even the
one of the real ones.
Man, hey, listen, for all y'all sitting at home and don't know what the elbow feel like to the face, to the front of the elbow. Like sometimes the back of the elbow ain't even, you know what I'm saying? You can catch some of the meat. When you hit the front of this,
it's over.
You might. I'm surprised his joint did. That's how you know he African, because normally that splits you wide open, bro.
It didn't even split to the big.
It didn't even split him. He called himself. He remembered he was African. He's like, nah, I can't go down.
This nigga's crazy.
But he got a little cut. Normally that would have opened your whole eye. You know, that's your nasal cavity. So when he travels and get on the plane,
the pressure.
Man. He gonna be out more than 3 games, bro.
You think?
Because he gonna have to wait till they're at home. He can't travel like that.
Yes, I'm saying,
He's probably not even traveling.
No, he didn't.
It ain't enough ice that you can put on your face, and then your face gonna actually swell from that, bro.
It's a lot.
I was like, he tried to Euro between 2, man. I didn't understand the move. I'm sitting here watching it, but it's just unfortunate, and things like that happen. So, you know.
It's part of the game, man.
It is, man. It is. And the misconception of that, I want to see Dame Lillard in the finals playing for his dream that he grew up, that all of us grew up trying to get. And that's all I was trying to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge fan of Bros. I think he's one of the best closers in the game that we've seen. And I just want to see that with another great talent.
On the biggest stage, on the finals.
Man. Straight up.
I feel you.
Straight up.
Come on, Dame. I don't know where you're going to go, but go somewhere.
Ooh, and do something, man. I feel sorry for Chance, too, man.
Yeah, that's our guy.
Because Dame's best years are seeming to be behind him. And I'm like, damn, he get with Chance? Lord, come on, Chance and Dame together? Come on, man. That's supposed to be classic. That's supposed to be like Biggie and a Young Hove or something. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah, no, I feel bad.
Man, all them Jews shot God that he was, you know, like, come on, man. It's going a whole nother way. But they say before you get something, you got to go through something.
You've been through it.
I just hope that they're able to put some pieces up there. I know Portland can be aggressive. I know they got a big pocketbook. I know they've been known to spend. I know Paul Allen, rest in peace, Paul Allen's gone, but I hope they make Portland that community and activate. I hope they reactivate that.
Go into the luxury tax one time for your boy Dame.
Straight up. They need to. They owe him that, yo. Yep. They got rid of CJ. Whenever you see people like CJ go off and now he's having stardom in New Orleans, you see, come on, man. Come on, man. He ain't sleeping, man. Man, listen. That's when that demon creeps in and you ain't getting sleep and you wonder, man, am I ever gonna have a chance, bro? Man, you know how that go, bro. That's a real sickness too, man. Winning is a sickness. Straight up. Y'all have no idea how this is totally make us cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Straight up.
Right.
Straight up, man. Straight up.
Like you said, the window's so small.
Man.
Closing every day.
Who would you like to see him with, though, if he goes to get with somebody?
Fuck, good call.
Because before Drew went up to Milwaukee, I was like, man, can you imagine getting Dame with somebody like Giannis or...
I mean, you said it, Joker. I want to see him with someone that's just as talented but bigger. I don't want to see him with the 2-guard because I want to see him with a killer wing with like imagine Dame going to Portland. I mean, excuse me, to the Clippers or something. Or Kawhi. You know what I mean?
Listen, I thought T. Lue was coach of the year, by the way. He didn't have both his superstars and got to the fucking playoffs.
With T. Lue's mind, PG's
his
mind,
pedigree.
Kawhi's mind, all three of those guys, and they just fill it in with some.
That's a big three right there. That's
tough, yeah.
How do you even get him to the Clippers, huh?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
Because
worry
you got to
about
get
that
one of
side.
the pieces up, eh?
Yeah, I don't know about that side, or get to see him go home and play with Golden State. You want to see him in just the best possible situation because similar to you, like he just stayed loyal for so long, he stayed down for so long, so I think he deserves all the blessings that are coming his way.
There's a couple people I want to see get one, man. He one of them, man.
Yeah. I want to see CP get one. I want to see CP get one.
I want to see Melo. I actually wanted to see Melo get one.
Yeah.
And it's just going into some other shit. Listen, I actually thought Chicago was one of them teams. Now, listen, I don't know about y'all. I watched Caruso, Ball, Levine, and Debo with Vucevic. Oh my God. I watched 3-4 games in that. I was like, oh no. The Bulls here, dog.
They were hurt. I think next year they're gonna be
they're gonna be one of them sleepers that ain't nobody talking about. The Bulls got a good team. They just gotta keep adding on. Yeah. They got good pieces.
They got experience, keep getting that experience. But yeah, no, I think obviously losing Ball for the season, then Caruso for a big piece.
Everything. Yes.
I mean, those guys it's not the numbers, it's just everything they bring to the game, the way they put their input on the game.
They're young, they play like a West Coast team, they're up and back. Yeah, and I love the dynamic of Caruso, I love the dynamic of Debo, DeMar, with Levine, who are two shot makers, with Vucevic. I thought the big fella don't get enough. He don't get enough notoriety. He's super nice. Both hands, can face up, shoot the three. Yeah. Lord, I like Chicago going. We're going into some other shit. I think we done. But yeah, we can do this all day, man. Thank you for coming through, bro. I got something for you, man.
Yes.
I got a company called The Official Rug Plug, man. We made something for you and Stack, man. We're huge fans of all the smoke.
Appreciate that.
And this is just something that you can have in your house, man. You know what I'm saying? This is just something you can put in your own junk. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Welcome to.
And then, too, we can make a bigger version of this,
this
too.
Is dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's love.
I'm saying, just something. I wanted to get it to you for your birthday. I know you was moving and shaking.
I might step out of the tub on this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to make
it.
And listen, if you want some more of these, I can make more. I know I want to get one for Stack.
Yeah.
And if you want it bigger. You know what I mean? If you want it bigger or whatever.
Appreciate you, bro.
But I'm going to put this in your car for you,
sir.
man. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming through, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Right, that's certified. We out of here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, certified. I chatted with the commissioner, right?
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
You know what I'm saying? And I really didn't get to really like jump in it like I want to, because I wanted to holler at him about streaming. How do you think streaming gonna affect the next collective bargaining agreement? What's the thing when they don't play?
Load
management. I wanted to ask him about streaming and load management. Two big issues that I feel like gonna change the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, I mean, streaming is it. It's it. So I mean, as smart as the NBA is, I'm sure they're already realizing that's it.
Yep. It's a section for them small market teams to get real value in their own right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I don't know all the intricacies to it, but I know that obviously they know it's coming. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that. And then load man, it's just different. I mean, you can speak to more than anyone. Like, we took pride in trying to play 82 games. And we practice. Practices were tougher than games.
I was about to say, you practice for like 2.5 hours. Ain't no more practicing no more, I heard.
Like, we're bumping in practice and fighting and talking shit, and it's just, it's different these days. But I mean, I kind of feel like it's because of, and the reason why I'm in the AU space is just because kids are getting burnt out now. So they're coming in the league with older bodies, I feel like. Really? Because they play so many, and it's not obviously the level.
They play more than us?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out, man. Shit, I can't speak to man. Shit.
Nah, but they playing on 2 of these different teams every weekend. It's at school now. They got core programs where school is just basketball.
Like playing outside. Ain't nobody playing outside.
No, they don't do that no more.
Gym, ain't nobody playing. That's what I'm saying.
They don't do that no more.
Kids playing way more than we play.
I think they are, bro.
You think so?
And especially, I don't know about you, but I played 4 different sports. So I'm always never working out in any sports because I'm to the baseball and track.
Oh,
yeah, so I'm in every sport, and I think it was funny because I saw the NFL draft the other day said that like 28 or high 20s out of the first round are multiple sport athletes.
Oh, snap.
You know what I mean? And I
that's
just think
1, 2, 3 or just
football,
basketball?
No, in the NFL draft, in this particular last NFL draft, like 25 of these guys played other sports.
Damn.
And I just think that's something that's lost because I think today parents think that, okay, you can't tell me my kid's not going pro. They make basketball a job. They make football a job or baseball because everything go year round now. We had seasons.
It ain't fun no more.
Yeah, it's almost a job.
It's a job.
It's almost a job at a young age, which I never want to make it. You know what I mean? But I say all that to say, I mean, I'm possibly thinking that's why, you know, all these young top picks are always coming in the league and getting hurt because now when you start this real 82 game grind, it's just like, damn, my body's not ready for this.
Are kids training too early?
Yeah,
do you think?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, but if you don't do it now, you get behind the 8 ball. Bro, you know, it's training is just different now. Like
you was doing weights in high school?
In high school, I did. Yeah, we started in high school.
I didn't do weights in high school, man. I got to the the combine, and they was like, oh, okay, go.
Right. Yeah, right.
Did everybody see me like,
yeah.
Right.
And then it came out there and killed him. No, I started in high school, but I just think now, you know, with my kids being 13, like they just really started getting into having a trainer. But, you know, if you don't train, you can see, like I'm out there with these kids, like these kids' skill level is so high. The IQ may not be as high as it should be because they're always just doing these one-on-one head down type shit. So that's what I try to implement is the IQ of it. But
have you seen District's joint? You see what District doing?
Yeah. Shout out Frank.
Man. Shout out to District, man. They got
Frank.
a whole fucking factory over there.
I love
you want to bring your kid, understand, and learn the game, man. I love what they're doing.
No, I think it's dope because, again, there's so many real basketball people. Normally, it's just people that, let me just open up these courts and take advantage. Like, there's real people that came from the game and love the game. They're in there giving these kids game now. So that's what I like about it.
Juice, man.
Yeah.
Juice, man. That's going to change. What's some of the stuff you was working on? I know you got some stuff in production.
Yeah, so I got Education and Matt Barnes. We've teamed up with Lionsgate and Showtime, so it's going to be kind of like Dave meets Curb. So just a 30-minute loosely scripted comedy about my life, my transition from the NBA to, at the time, single dad of 3, parenting, coaching, looking for love, smoking weed, all this kind of shit. So that's, so shout out Lionsgate and Showtime. We got that coming.
Scripted?
Yeah, scripted.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing, and I'm starring and producing it.
So you're gonna be writing?
No, I'm gonna be producing it and then acting as myself.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that's gonna be dope.
So it's like a Curb Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I got you. Matt Barnes, Curb Enthusiasm.
Just like go out there and do your thing, man. You know what I mean? So just live and uncut. So that the boys AU show, you know, going for #1 in the country. Their podcast we're doing with that. And then I have a couple of, you know, talking to J.R. Ryder about coming and telling his story. So I want you to do that.
Doc, you doing a doc on J.R.?
No, so I want to do a scripted series. Because has he broke down what he was on when he was playing with you?
Listen.
Bro.
Listen, we had some countless nights. I done seen Lord at his worst and I seen him at his greatest, dog.
Right.
One of the coolest,
ever.
Right,
ever.
Yeah.
I remember you came to the crib and he was having to be on the phone and maybe y'all talked for a good 20 minutes, right? When you got to the crib, remember?
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah, because I was on the phone when you came to talk about a deal at the crib and I was talking to JR, and y'all just reminisced,
I remember that. You know what? He was always a dope dude. He was always big bro to me, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to JR,
I love
man.
JR. But then, you know,
you gonna do something with him?
Yeah, we're trying to do a scripted show with him. I was actually just talking to Espinoza about it because
it's a lot there
it's
too.
Street,
bro.
It's guns, it's violence. It's while I'm in the NBA hooping, the shit is really going on. People trying to kill, you know, take my life. So that, you know, what me and you talked about, you know, I want to get that running. So I just think that, you know, there's a lot of opportunity for us right now, and if we don't take advantage, it's on us.
Right.
So.
What's the play with production? You just want to be able to have it?
I want to be able to produce. You know what I mean? I want to be able to bring my company, Dangerous Minds, in and start partnering and just creating great content, whether it be doc, whether it be series, whether it be scripted, non-scripted, shows, whatever it may be. Like I said, like we can tell our own stories now and build the shit too. Right. So that's what I'm trying to be on. Yeah.
Right, and it's so hard to get you a distributor, and it's hard to get a partner and all this.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Showtime Basketball for even fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's sign the wall, man. You want to sign the wall for me?
Let's get it.
Gotta get the, you know what I'm saying? Oh, right. When last time you hooped, boy?
Man, I don't hoop no more. I just coach. I can't hoop. Too old.
Do kids want to play one-on-one? Come on, man. I want to check out.
Yeah, man. My kids, they can't beat me yet because worst comes to worst, I'm going to foul their asses, but they got the IQ and them motherfuckers can shoot the ball.
Good looks, man. I appreciate you,
no
man.
doubt, man. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming through.
This is your captain. Our mission, to seek out new life, push the boundaries of what is known and what is possible.
I'm standing on the surface of a comet.
No one can know the future. One can only follow one's instincts.
This crew can do anything.
Let's show them what you got.